Hello, fellow gardeners. Well, here we are back again, here in February. Now we want to talk a little about our wicking tubs. We have lots of questions come up. People call and say, okay, I've been using these wicking tubs now for 3 years. Do I change the soil out? Well, the first thing we're going to say is, not if you've had successful growing for the last 2 or 3 years. No. Now what you may want to do is, if you're going to increase a few more tubs, by the way, let me introduce, this is Josh. He's our gentleman that's got questions. He can answer questions just as well as I can. When Judy and I are on the lake fishing, then you can call the garden center here or Josh one, and you can get some answers on some of these questions. But I don't mind you texting me. That's the best way to get to me, is on my phone through a text. Because I'm up in the front driving the trolling motor, got a rod in one hand and trolling motor in the other, and we're busy fishing. And so them texts come in. Then when I get to the spot that we're going to just drift, then I can answer your questions and not miss a phone call. So text them questions to me, and if I can't answer them, I'll send them to Josh and let him answer them for you if I'm too busy catching fish. But on days that it's not real fast catching fish, I got time to talk. Our phone number is 580-564-5909. Josh, you don't mind your number being on there?
Good, man.
Tell them your number. What's your number on there?
580-565-4027.
If you have any greenhouse questions, he's the man to call and talk to him. You can always order fertilizer by calling the garden center. 580-564-2166. And Sherry or her mother Shirley will get your fertilizer right on out to you. I know the season's coming up. Some of you already have your plants started, and if you're going to grow from your own seed and you start them inside, you know where it's warm. And then as they get up, just let them seeds come up out of the ground just a little bit. If you leave them in there 2 more days, they'll be that tall and skinny as hair. So just as soon as they come through that ground, you get them out to where they can get plenty of sunlight. You may have to protect them from the wind and let them have sunlight, but they got to have that sunlight. Grow lights, I mean, I'm not knocking grow lights, but I've never seen real good, short, stocky transplants come from a grow light. It always gets too leggy. They'll get up there 4 inches long and won't be the size of a hair. So please get them out in the sunshine. That's the main thing on growing them plants of yourself. Now, we're going to talk a little about these here wicking tubs that you don't have to change that soil out. Just, you could take some out of the top, say 3 to 4 inches out. Put it over in the bottom of the next tub you're building, and then you do that out of 3 or 4 tubs, and you're going to have this tub up ready to put new potting mix on top of all of these tubs at the top 4 inches, something like that. Before you put the potting mix in it, Josh, they need to put the fertilizer in there just like they do, and do this every season. Now we do it twice a year, where we grow tomatoes or peppers in the spring, and then we come back and grow lettuce, spinach, greens, stuff like that in the winter. We put the fertilizer on twice a year, spring and fall. And but if you have any questions, call one of us and we'll answer these. What else we need to talk about on these buckets, Josh?
People talking about the water.
Water?
Stinking.
Yeah, sometimes people call us and say their water's stinking. Well, we've never had any problem like that in our high tunnels, and we've been growing in here for 11 years now, 12 years, I guess, in the grow tubs. Let me tell you, if your soil is real fine to where it kind of stays waterlogged, it's going to sour and get anaerobic. And that's where you really talk about this. When you use the soil, you get you a coarse soil. And if you buy good, high-priced garden mix, not soil, but mix. You want a potting mix is what you want. And get you some extra pine bark or perlite, ground up styrofoam, and put in there to make it loose. We want it loose so it can get air down in through there and not let that thing go anaerobic. But every time we went out and checked people's soil, around here and all, when they complain about it smelling, it's always been a real fine, cheap grade potting mix that just will not breathe. Okay?
It doesn't wick as well.
It won't wick as well either. Well, it wicks too much water up on that fine stuff and gets you too wet in your plants. I had a lady call me this afternoon, and she wants to know why her plants, was getting so wet, staying wet all the time, is because her soil was too fine. Okay, well, anything else, Josh, we need to tell them about on there right now? You got any questions, text one of us. All right, we're going to shut this down, and y'all subscribe, punch the button, ring the bell, and we'll make you another video.